Hey guys, Frank here, your virtual general aviation aviator, and today I am back in the PC-12. Now, I have not loaded it yet. What you're actually taking a look at is my virtual hangar, and as you can see, I've got a lot of aircraft in my virtual hangar. Now, some of the aircraft are duplicates, so I actually don't have as many as it may look. But for general aviation, I like to think that I got a pretty decent selection of aircraft. Now, what I want to fly is the Pilatus PC-12 47G from STMA. Um, the one by Coronado stopped working. My authentication, um, what do you call it? Serial number stopped working, and I have yet to reach out to get them to do whatever they need to do to see that it works. So I just been defaulting back to the STMA one, and it seemed to be back on par with the performance that I expect. Now, one of the reasons I tend to fly to revert back to the PC-12 so often is because two reasons. Number one, um, I fly, I own that aircraft in FSEconomy, and so often, every so often, I need to make some money in it. So let's load up FSEconomy. Think I'm safe on that, and let's see where my aircraft is at. So my aircraft right now is in Kilo Hotel Zulu Delta, and I think that's Carroll County. I flew it there yesterday. Carroll County, Tennessee. My home airport, of course, is Charlotte. So let's see what we can get that get us towards Charlotte. Okay, so southeast is the direction in which we want to fly. So these are pointing southeast, and that's 187 nautical miles. It's paying $916 per passenger, and I got 5 passengers that I can take there. Let's see. So that might be a good um, trek. So let's bring up Sky Vector and Sky Vector, and you actually are watching the sausage getting made here. I thought I'd do a flight where you can see exactly how I make one of these flights from start to finish. Okay, so I'm at let's see, where was I gonna go? Da, 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 da. Yeah, um, Papa Lima Romeo, and I'm at Hotel Zulu Delta. Okay, so K Hotel Zulu Delta to K Papa Lima Romeo, and remove the waypoints from the last flight, and I can see that that takes me really not far from Atlanta. Now, if I pop back in the FS economy and go to the destination, let's see if I can get to Atlanta from there. Because once I get to Atlanta, I can get to almost anywhere. Okay, so I can get to Memphis and can't get to Atlanta, but 10 nautical miles away, there is Kilo Alpha Sierra November. And if I take the loss and fly there, then that's not going to get me towards where I want to go. So let's try Kilo Alpha November Bravo, and everything wants to point me west. Okay, so let's try Birmingham. That's 25 nautical miles, and if I go to Birmingham, then yeah, then I can get some fares directly to Atlanta. Yeah, so that's going to be the plan, and then once I'm in Atlanta, I can get direct to Charlotte, which is my home airport for this aircraft. I had it on the West Coast, and for the last few flights, I've been moving it back to the East Coast. Um, yeah, so I've got $5,000 in cash, $159,000 banked up, which isn't a lot of money to do anything with. To get a decent aircraft, I need roughly $1 million. So I'm far from being able to buy anything decent. All right, so let's continue to let's see where we want to go. Okay, so we are loaded up. Man, the weather looks lousy. So let's turn on real weather using FS Global Weather, and let's see what changes, if any, that makes. I doubt it makes any changes at all. So this will be a long flight. Um, I am going to go through the checklist, something that I doesn't do very often, but so every now and then I really need to go through it to just refresh myself. All right, so let's go ahead and close the cabin door and remove the flags and the bra on the front of the aircraft. Let's see, let's put it back so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's the front of the aircraft, and let's put it back. So the bra holds the prop, and the flags are the covers for the inlets. All right, and let's get rid of the chocks, and let's see. And then on the inside, let's go ahead and remove the control lock. Okay, and finally some quietness. I guess that aircraft in the background finally departed or shut down, whichever the case may be. Sound like it shut down. All right, so let's develop a flight plan. Now, since I've started working with the G1000, and I went on and got a subscription to Navigraft, so I could use SimBrief and the current arcs. Even though I don't fly the airliners, I always say in my mind tube liners. I heard somebody say that. Coffee. I don't fly the airliners um, because early on I thought that flying the airliners was kind of cheating. Basically the computer do everything. But in reality, what it take to get an airliner in the air and at altitude, and what it take to get them down, following real world procedures, is a lot of work. So my hat goes off to you guys who fly the airliners. Um, I been threatening, well, I know I'm digressing, but bear with me a minute. I've been threatening to start doing flights on VATSIM, um, but I'm just not comfortable with VATSIM. I came up on Pilot Edge, and so I'm so used to being able to look at my charts and know exactly what frequencies I need to tune to talk to who. And on that sim, I see that if I'm at the ground and there's center, then for some controllers, I can reach out to them and get ground clearances, and they will act as from everything from clearance delivery all the way up to center. And for some controllers, they will have in their notes center only. And I just find that, so for me, so confusing that I just got, well, it's not confusing, but it's um, a little disconcerting. I mean, I'm already a little intimidated talking to ATC, and then to call up and say, "Hey, I'm sitting at Carroll County, and I want permission to taxi," and they go, "Can't help you." Then where does that leave me? So anyway, with Pilot Edge, I can tune right in. I've been really considering renewing my subscription for another year to Pilot Edge, but that's just under $200, and I um, would do it, but I've had that subscription for 2 years in the past, and I've been to almost every airport in the ZLA area since I fly general aviation. I don't see any need to do the Western expansion um, um, subscription because my hops are really short, so I'm not gonna. And a lot of the Class Delta airports in the expansion package are not controlled. So, whereas in the ZLA, just about every Class D on up airport is controlled. So, anyway, I digress. All right, let's keep going. Like I said, this is going to be a long flight, so I'm not going to worry about the time. All right, all right. So we've got two checklists. Both of them are the same. One of them is just translucent. The other one isn't, and I'm going to leave them both up for the time being. All right, oxygen lever can come on. I often forget that oxygen mask check. I have yet to find out where the daggone oxygen mask at in this aircraft. I should ask my friend who has a channel. His name is Gene Stewart, and he will entertain any question that you might have about the PC-12. So if you have any questions at all about about the PC-12, whether it's about any of the gauges, walk around, no matter what, just reach out to Gene Stewart. I think if you search YouTube for his name, then he ought to come up, and he just enjoy getting questions from us and answering it. He is a real world PC-12 pilot. However, his employer prohibits him from disclosing the tail number of the PC-12 that he flies, so he doesn't make a lot of videos like my other PC-12 friend, Grant Baker, who flies in the Ozarks. Um, I love his channel. All right, so oxygen mask. I'm just gonna check it. Let's see. Yeah, it. You would think it would be somewhere at the top. Every now and then, I'll take another deep dive for it, but yeah, let's just leave it alone. All right, circuit breakers. And these are not modeled, so I could just skip over it. Are all in. EPS can come on. That's our emergency power system. Now, notice that this guy says off, and I don't have my battery on, so I think the EPS works independent of the power setting. So let's flip that to check and armed, and you see that guy move. So yeah, my emergency um, power supply system is on and indicated. All right, the more level, the manual override is off. Good to go there. And that has never checked off automatically. The let's see, the PC power lever can come to idle, And the way this flow chart, this checklist work, if the item is in the correct state, then it would check it off automatically. I actually have control over that, and that's the way I have it set up. So that when I do use the checklist, I can go a little bit faster. Okay, so condition is cut off and flaps are set to 0. Fear emergency is full in. ECS emergency shut off, full in. Doors are closed. Standby bus switch needs to come on. Standby is now on, and overhead switches are all off. Okay. Let's just turn the inverter to battery for right now. And I hear things. I hear the gyros winding up, as is the the Garmin 750. Okay, overhead switches are off, and let's get our clearance. We are at a class Delta. I think it does have a control tower. So let's go to where we want to go, guys. We want to go to Sky Vector. All right, and we're in Carroll County. And let's make sure the FSEconomy is agreeing. Make sure that my flight, let's see. Actually, I need to set this up before I forget. Um, if I don't, I find myself airborne and not earning any money. Okay, so I'm at Carroll County, Tennessee, and I want to get these guys here, all 5 of them. Or did I miscount? 6 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 checks. Yeah, so that's roughly an extra $1,000 that I uh, didn't think I was going to get. So I'm gonna assign that to my flight. So just click on this guy, and it's ready. All right, so now I need to get my aircraft, and I am in the Pilatus. Now these are the aircraft that are currently at this airport, and the ones that you can rent will have the words "rent" beside them under action. And of course, even though I own the aircraft, for the sake of FSE economy, I do have to rent it. I do not charge a bonus. Um, I do not participate with the bonus. So if you rent my aircraft, you can fly it as far as you like without any penalty. What the bonus does is the closer you are to the home airport, then the more of a bonus that you have to get. Um, if I really wanted to make some money, I'm just looking at this 580 nautical mile trip um, to somewhere up in Canada that's paying 11 grand, or this 7 passenger 775 nautical mile journey to this airport, whatever end of your Sierra Papa is. So anyway, so there are some opportunities to make money in FS economy out of virtual money. Um, if I could actually rent the, let's say I probably would want to rent a jet. And to be honest with you, the Cicada 850 right now is probably the fastest thing available uh, to take those passengers, other than the PC-12, which I'm already decided I'm going a different way. All right, so I'm gonna hit my flight and check over everything. I might need some fuel. So let's see. So I got my 6 passengers. I got 4 seats available. I only got 27% in my fuel tanks, and I've got 187 nautical miles to go. So let's see if I got any Jet A available here. I hope so, because I don't know if a quarter tank of gas basically is enough to get me to my destination. I don't think it. Well, it would be cutting it close. Um, let's see. So let's hit the refuel button. I don't think there's any Jet A here. Ah, supply Jet A. Yeah, some Jet A, but it's terribly expensive. $4.05 a gallon. So um, I am gonna fill it to a half a tank. So I'm not actually buying 203 gallons. I'm buying enough to equal 203 gallons. Um, so um, there's another section of this website that would show me just how much I spent. I'll just show it to you. Payment logs. So I just bought payment logs. See, all flights. Maybe it's payment logs. So I just bought $377 worth of Jet A, which amounted to um, 93 gallons. So that's what I just bought. All right, so pretty straightforward there. And and now I've got 50% of fuel, so I am pretty good to go. Okay, so I'm still on ground power in the aircraft. I do believe. Well, I'm on standby bus, but I'm gonna just hit ground power, even though that would simulate a GPU. Excuse me. But this aircraft doesn't actually have the GPU simulated. Mm, my coffee is getting cold. So I should change the the time of day to real time since it's actually daytime outside. And that's done. And apply didn't really make any difference. Oh man, it looks ugly out there. All right. So what we need to do is figure out what our plan is for getting to our destination. All right. And so I'm gonna go ahead and check off clearance because I don't really need clearance. And now I got set my flight plan up. And what I want to do now is go to let's go to SimBrief. Uh, where's SimBrief? Okay, we'll do it this way. SimBrief. And we're waiting. So while we're waiting, well, okay, wait is over. All right, and dispatch my flight plan. And this is a new flight. And we are in the PC-12, the same flight, the same plane that we flew last time, and this time we're gonna be at Carroll County, which is Kilo Hotel Zulu Delta. Uh, that didn't go in. I need to do edit. Okay, I think edit is loading now. Use current time. And let's try this again. Kilo Hotel Zulu Delta. And the destination was, what was my, was it, yeah, Papa Lima Romeo. Um, Kilo Papa Lima Romeo. I cannot talk. I'm just one of those guys who cannot talk. Okay, so while that's loading, let me pop back into my aircraft and let's see. I'm trying to determine whether or not I should turn some air conditioning, some heat on. Um, I thought I'd be to see the outside temperature, but I can't. So we won't go for that. We won't go that deep into immersion this time, at least with this aircraft. Um, so let's get back to SimBrief. Okay. And November 9875 Foxtrot's our call. And we need a plan. All right. So um, I am going to close SkyVector down and let Navigraph launch it so it'll suggest the plan. Okay. I'm using Navigraph and SimBrief interchangeably. Okay, so SkyVector, and it's not suggesting the route, so maybe we just do direct. Here's the route here. ETA at 125 minutes, 186 nautical miles, and this route will add, oh man, a bunch of miles in time. Um, so, what do you think, guys? You think we ought to do the the world high airway, or just go direct? We'll do, well, let's see. The PC-12, even though it's rated for 29,000 feet, struggles, in my opinion, to reach out those types of altitude. So I like to fly somewhere around 18, usually under 20. Um, so we've got 5 passengers, 187 nautical miles. I guess we can do the high, the high. Um, yeah, we'll just do this. That would log in. That would make things make sense, and should only take an hour. Um, the the numbers that we were looking at was based on a 172, I think. Anyway, um, so let's get this guy and let's copy it and jump back into SimBrief, paste it, and we've got a flight plan. Let's analyze our route, make sure that it's okay with everybody, and it is. And let's I got a sneeze. I feel a sneeze coming on. Lo and behold, this is going to be about 170, I think. Between 160 and 170. Um, I like to know which way I'm headed when I depart the airport. Um, okay, so yeah, let's now we can let SimBrief suggest a altitude, or we can select one. As you can see, we're going east of the airport. East is odd. We're going to be flying IFR, so we need an odd number like 3,000, 5,000, 11,000, um, 17,000, and I think 19,000 is probably a good number for us. All right, so let's get 19. Well, I actually don't like flying that high, so let's fly 17,000 feet above the ground. Okay, and I think we've gotten everything that we need to generate a flight plan. All right, so let's generate this guy. Now I can't import this into the 750, so I'm going to have to go back and enter it manually. So, uh-oh, something went wrong, and that's par for the course when I'm doing a recording, right? All right, so my flight plan homepage. All right, so that's not working out. So we'll just use this here to enter our data, and I'm just going to move all this to another screen. You can't see it, but I can. All right, so let's get our GTN. Let's pull our flight plan up, and let's add the first waypoint, which is Kermy. And that's 82 nautical miles. And we'll pick up the Victor 74, and we want to exit at MSL. Sound like a real estate. Uh, MSL or mean sea level. Okay, we're getting there. That's a lot of waypoints. MSL, Muscle Shoals, that's what MSL stands for. Okay, and we'll load that up. And then we got Blues at waypoint V. Is that VUZ? Vulcan, what that stands for. And we'll pick up Victor 209 and exit at Truss. And then we go direct to St. Clair, which is Kilo Papa Lima Romeo. Kilo Papa Lima Romeo. Enter. All right, so we've got a flight plan built, and we're going to go ahead and store that just in case. So where's this? Let's see, let me hit back. I want this. Okay, that's the name of it here. I want to store it just in case it get lost. Store. Okay, it already exists, so I guess we stored it the first time. Yeah, here it is. Okay, back. Just in case the sim crashes or for whatever reason I have to restart it, that means I don't have to re-enter the plan. I can just load it. Okay, now we've got our plan, and um, so we can go ahead with the next phase of getting started. Battery 1 can come on, and battery 2 can come on. Our voltages look good, and let's make sure our beacon light is on. And beacon is on, and nav needs to come on. There we go. And fuel pumps look good. They say do an audible check, but I can never hear the fuel pumps when I turn them on manually. And we do a lamp check. Let's actually turn on the overhead panel here. So we'll do a lamp check. Now, I think for the STMA, the lamp check's so cool, a lot more realistic. You can see all my lamps lighting up, and wherever I have lamps that need to light up, so I know all my bulbs are working. So I can check that off, and we'll check for fire warning. I should get a cast message or an alert message for fire. Okay, and I see it right here. I'll do it one more time. There's fire. And it's so much nicer doing these flights when I'm not worried about time. A lot of times when I'm doing them, I'm saying to myself, man, people are not going to sit there and watch me go through all this stuff. But this one I'm doing for me. I'm enjoying this flight. Okay, EIS. And that's this electronic instrument system. And let's test it. And everything looks good. Everything is working. Let's do it one more time. Make sure that no glitches and fuel contents. Now that's going to change when I load the passengers. So in order to check the fuel content, let's go ahead and load the passengers. The checklist don't have a load passenger um, check, so I might as well do it now. So let me go ahead and log in to FSEconomy from the sim so that they can talk to each other. And I'm waiting, and I'm gonna go ahead and check that off. And okay, yeah, and go to the next page, and I'm gonna go ahead and load the passengers, start the flight, and you'll see my fuel quantity change to a half a tank, which is all we have. Okay, so I'm good there, and this way I won't forget to load my passengers when I take off. All right, so let's get this guy started, and let's look around and clear prop. All right, let's haul a clear prop and look around, make sure nobody's out there. And so I've hollered clear prop, and starter switch can come on. Now I'm gonna hold this down for 2 seconds. Make sure that my condition is idle. I'm glad I double checked because it was not set at idle. I don't know how I missed that, but Oh yeah, well, here it is right here, ground idle. Um, well, no, that's anyway. When it get to 12% NG here, then I'm going to introduce fuel. Okay, and I'm gonna watch my ITT. It's gonna spike. It's gonna go up to about 11 or 12,000. I don't think it does that in the real plane, but it's gonna come down relatively shortly. If it doesn't, then I got a hot start and I need to execute a starter interrupt and kill the fuel. All right, so let's do this. 1001, 1002. All right, NGs are coming up, waiting on 12%. Let's see, my prop starting to get some power, starting to turn. Okay, 11, introduce fuel. ITT is coming up. Brakes are set. And ITT is coming down. And I've got a good start. All right, let's check my oil pressure. Ba, 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 ba. Oil pressure looks good. Engine temp is still cold, but that should come up. Oil pressure is in the green. All right. And let's see, this should check off automatically, but it didn't. There we go. And oil pressure in the green, ITT and NG look good. Engine instruments. All right. Look good. All right. And generator 1, generator 2. Avionics inverter can come on. Avionics 1 and avionics 2 can come on. And passenger advisories are on, and standby bus can go off. So can external power and air conditioner. They say air conditioner, but actually environment probably would be the best word. So what's the outside air temperature? Outside air temperature is 15 degrees in Celsius. Um, I think it's the Coronado version that allowed me to get that in Fahrenheit. But um, 2 times 15 is 30 plus 32 is 62 degrees. Um, is so I really don't need any heat. 62 degrees is probably uh, pretty good. And environmental control can come on, and pressurization. We are going to climb up to what was our altitude. I think it was 17. So let's go ahead and set this guy for 17. I don't have a hotkey to let's see. Let me zoom in on that so that we can see what our numbers are. 15. And that's about 17 there. And we should be good. All right, so let's get back out. And pressurization is checked. Flaps goes to 15%. And 15%. And here's our indicator. And I am going to turn on the lights, the cockpit lights, because that will help you guys see better, I think. Um, let's see, I have to remember how to cut them on. Uh, okay, that's the dome light. Don't really need the dome light or the flood lights. What I'm looking for is the the um, the yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. I know that on playback, um, these dials, these can be really hard to read. So I've learned from experience that just turning on lights, even though it's daytime, would just help you guys enjoy the flight a little bit more. Okay, so I don't have a flag on the AHRS autopilot. Let's go ahead and do an autopilot test, and that's no errors. And let's do our pusher test. Now this is so cool. Um, so in order to do the pusher test, I need to get my torque up over 5%. So I usually get it up to around 10 and let it come down. And it's gonna come down on its own, and it's gonna stop at 6.5. All right, that's good. And now I press and hold this button and pull back on the yoke, push the yoke forward, turn it and pull it back again, and it'll actually pull me forward to push the nose back down. Okay, so I got the button held, pull it back. I got my pusher vibration, turn it and pull it back, and it didn't actually pull me forward this time. Let's try it again. Whoa, it didn't actually pull me forward, but it should have. Sometimes it has done it in the past. I don't know why it did this time, or maybe it's just my imagination. All right, so pusher test look good. And I'm just gonna go to next. All this is part of pusher, and I'm gonna go to next again. My cows, crew alert warnings. My pusher test is still illuminated, so I need to do that again. All right. There we go. And my LA probes light is on, but we'll take care of that before we take off. Okay, so I can see the aircraft moving. So that tells me that we've got some really good winds out there. De-ice. Now 62 degrees. I'm not going to need any de-ice right now, but I suspect that I will need it on my way up to 17,000. Okay. Flight controls are free and correct, and there's no need of looking out the window to see. I can see the shadow. So yeah. All right. So inertial separator did come on. I did open it, and trim. So my trims are here. Everything looked good. And engine instruments. Let's just double check. oil temperatures come up, producing electrical power, and my RPMs are registering. Yeah, so I'm good. Flaps are set at 22%, or the 15%. Uh, I'm thinking the Porter, the PC Porter, I think it sets it at 28%. Anyway, I digress. Industry. And okay, fuel quantity is okay. Um, Nav and comms. All right, so good catch here, because a lot of times I don't think about this until I'm taxiing. Well, that's the wrong uh, guy. I want this guy here, and for navs, um, our ADAS is 133.275. That's correct. So I can get ADAS, not ADAS, but AWAS, um, Automated Weather Observation Service, on this frequency. Uh, and this turns out to be a Gulf. I thought I saw a tower. Yeah, there is a tower sitting here. Well, the Sky Vector has it as a Gulf, so it's going to use a Unicom frequency, or CTAF, Common Traffic Advisory Frequency. And let's tune our CTAF in. Let's get rid of that and put our CTAF frequency in here. And that's going to be, now I should remember it from the last flight, but it's 12280, 80, and we transfer that directly in. All right, and we are not going to actually do any real ATC, but I think the departure frequency provided for this area would be Memphis on 134. Man, my memory is terrible. I can't remember 134.65. Actually, I didn't even look at it. On standby. Okay. And we are good. All right, so pop that back in. I think we're done with our overhead, so we can pop that out, except for lights, but we can trust our alpha yoke for lights. All right, so I think we are just about ready to go. Let's see, I think it wants us to turn this guy here on, and check for traffic. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, exactly how this works. So I'm gonna go back to the HSI that I'm familiar with and make sure I got this guy set on GPS. Now, in reality, if I was flying, in reality, I would actually set up a backup system for navigation so that I would have, so I would program in the nav radios, just in case my GPA, been a long time since I had to worry about GPA. My GPS went funky, so that's one thing about aviation is redundancy. Um, GPS, the traffic check, and I see it got a plus beside it. I've never known it to. I I don't know if there's. Well, it did check off. I don't know why it checked off. Anyway, maybe because I don't know. Anyway, cabin pressurization. We just set that, and yolks removed. Uh, I guess I'll go ahead and remove them. Um, well, I I really don't see any reason to. It's really not covering anything that's germane to my flying. All right, so let's set this guy up. If a flight director and altitude still need to here to aid us, um, but we're going to climb to 17,000, and of course, in reality, ATC would probably step us up. So, you know, we'll climb probably to, well, we'll pick up our IFR in the air, and they would probably climb us up to 3,000, 10,000, 12, etc. Until they get us up to 17. A lot of times you don't stop climbing, but they give you those steps. I don't know why. All right, so um, we've got this set, and how fast are we going to climb? We start out. We don't have that many passengers, so I think we can go ahead and do our max of 27,000 stallers um, straight away, but max of 18 by the POH for this aircraft. And now we can taxi. All right, so let's get our ADAS. I say ADAS, and a lot of times when I say the word ADAS, I mean METAR, or really, I mean weather report. All right, so that's on COM 2.
Carroll County weather.
Carroll County weather.
Whoa, let's turn
alert.
that down just a little. Let's go here. Yeah, look at everything's maxed out. That's not good. All right, and then the radio. All right, that ought to be better. And that ought to be much better, right? And turn my engine noises up a little bit on the VU. Okay, now let's try this again. This time I'm gonna hit this guy.
Carroll County weather.
Whoa, still loud.
Carroll County weather. Wind shear alert.
Still want to turn it down a little. And if it doesn't go down this time, I'm not going to worry about it.
Carroll County weather.
A little bit.
Carroll County weather. Wind shear alert. Wind 330 at 8 variable 300 to 360 gust 17. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 1,300 overcast. 32,000 few. Temperature 14. 2.13. Altimeter 299.
I need to hear it again. Get those winds. My pen wasn't right when I started writing.
Carroll County weather.
Okay.
Carroll County weather. Wind shear alert. Wind 330 at 8 variable 300 to 360 gust 17. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 1,300 overcast. 32,000 few. Temperature 14. 2.13.
Okay.
Altimeter 299.
So I knew we had some really good winds because I can see the aircraft moving here on the tarmac, on the apron, depending on what country you're in. All right, so let's go with our taxi lights. Let's find out what runway we actually are gonna use. So, and let me pop that out. All right, so wind shear alert, winds 330 at 8, variable to 300, gusting to 17. So winds are coming from this direction. So we're going to use runway 01. Well, actually, and that's going to give us a quartering, let's see, I think it's going to give us, all right, this is 01 and winds 300. So 300 on the compass rules would be, well, about north is up. So 300 would be about right here. So it's going to give us a quartering, a left quartering headwind, and got to watch out for that shear. All right, so let's make this happen. Let's see, text, and let's get rid of this guy, but we can see it in the display there. And turn on our taxi lights, our recognition lights, and check our brakes. Brakes are working. Rudders are working. All right, flight controls checked. And let's go ahead and get our taxi on. All right, let's clear. And one mistake that I can tell you straight away that I made is when I did my pusher test, I failed to turn the power down. There's my windsock. So that windsock is dancing. So we're gonna dance with it. Um, like we got almost a straight, what I want to say, a straight crosswind. Now, I want to make sure I'm going the right way. Nope. I would make that mistake. All right. Give a little rudder, a little power here to get going. And rather than do it, well, so we can do one or two things. We could do a U-turn. Actually, I should make a call. I should have made a call. Carroll County traffic, Pilatus 9875 Foxtrot is taxiing to runway 01, Carroll County. All right. So let's do this again. And this time we'll try and stay on the yellow brick road. if I pull my throttle back to the detent, then I wind up going into beta, which in reality I would have to lift the throttle up and over to get to beta. That'll probably come one day. One day we'll probably have throttles where I can lift it up and over to get into beta. Of course, the problem with that, the issue with that, is the throttle set will probably cost $700-800, if not more, to get that kind of realism. And of course, the sims are getting smarter and smarter, so they'll be able to handle it. Actually, I think the software will come first, and then, well, I don't know whether sometimes they'll add stuff to the software because of the hardware. But anyway, you get the idea. Okay, so my side window is closed. So we're gonna rotate at 8. We're gonna line up, stop, do a quick visual check, set takeoff power. Did I cross the whole short line? I'm looking for a whole short line. I didn't cross it. Okay, I'm doing a takeoff race. We're gonna set the power to take off about 40 foot-pounds on the torque, and rotate at 80. Raise the gear, and when we're above 100 knots, then at any point above that, we can raise our flaps. We'll engage our yaw damper and turn off our landing lights and our inertia separator and engage our autopilot. Okay, so that's our takeoff brief. And Carroll County traffic, Pilatus 9875 Foxtrot Whiskey, holding that, lining up at runway 01, taking off to the southeast, Carroll County. Now, I didn't look to see whether or not I would be doing a downwind departure or not, but if I'm headed 01, that's toward the north, and I'm going south, so that does give me a downwind. All right, so strobes are on. Condition is 4. We are lined up. Probes are on. Power up to 40. Release our brakes, and we are on our takeoff roll. We do have wind shear, so we're constantly adjusting for that. 80 knots. Rotate. Tap the brake, gear up. "100 knots, flaps up. So it's cloudy, so we're going to leave our inertial separators on. Yaw damper can come on. Landing lights can go off. They're already off. Did I not manage my lights? Okay, so it's windy up here. And all right. Nav. And we'll turn in the direction that the flight director indicate. Engage our autopilot. And autopilot has the aircraft. But our work is not over. All right. So we climbing at airspeed is 140. So we're gonna go to indicated airspeed hold. So that's engaged. And that lowers our nose to 15%. I had my taxi. I never did turn my landing lights on when I got on the taxiway. All right, so 36.9 is our climb torque. Anything above that, we just wasting fuel. So let's just pull it back. And let's look at our flight plan, our map, I mean. And so we are turning to intercept our course, and we'll switch our radio off to departure. Okay, and we would tell departure that we're at 6,000 for 17,000, and they would tell us what the altimeter is and make sure that altimeter stay checked throughout the flight. All right, so I didn't go through this guy here. I always find that there's a lot going on. Transponder, we never did set our transponder up, so let's go ahead and do that now. Altitude reporting, and let's go ahead and turn our windshield heat on. Let's see what our outside temperature is. It's 4 and it's going down. So I was watching a video recently, and the guy was like, I don't like turning my windshield heat on until I see what's actually going on outside. We are in clouds, so, and outside temperature is 2. We are ascending, so let's go ahead and turn our prop heat on. And don't think we're gonna need boots. I think we are over the clouds now, so we can come off the prop heat. We'll leave our windshield heat on. Inertia separator can come off. And we are 76.6 miles from our next waypoint. You know, it's funny because I record this in 4K, and when I play it back on a large 4K monitor, it looks so good. Look better on that monitor than it does here during the flight. All right, so let's go to next after takeoff. Gears up, yaw damper on, taxi and landing lights are off, flaps are up, climb power set 36.9, and pressurization is working. So we are doing good. All right, so we won't need the altimeter check because we're staying below 18. Recognition lights can come off, and inertia separator is closed. Passenger advisory, they are welcome to release their seat belts, but I prefer they not smoke. It's not one of those flights that go where the pilot go. If what's the saying? If you have them, light them. I forget. Anyway, so yep, climbing out at roughly 1,500 feet a minute over the clouds. And I'm glad I did turn FSE on a lot earlier because I hit something, hit the number 2 that might be that's tied to flaps. Number 2 on my keyboard is tied to flaps, so I turned the flaps on. At least I did. I'm glad I didn't slow down to the point where I lost my autopilot. Okay, nav lights, strobe lights, beacon lights on. Windshield heats on. I can turn them off at this point, I think. You know, out of abundance of caution, I am going to leave them on just in case I descend down through clouds. Now, one thing that I'm excited about is shoulder pain. One thing that I am excited about is in the next version of X-Plane, hopefully the windshield icing will be fully simulated on the when the simulator first come out. You know, a lot of stuff will probably get introduced as the simulator mature, but I think icing effects, at least on the windshield, will happen at launch. Okay, so this is the part of the flight where it's not a lot to do. Check my oxygen, my pressure. And It's got me roughly at 15. So it's looking good. I can give the aircraft a little power. Get back up to 36.9. Just about to get both NG and ITT limited. NG is limited at 100%. ITT is technically shouldn't exceed 760. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next, and I'm getting toward the top of the climb. I got just over 1,000 to go, so it should take me a minute. So this looks like indicated airspeed is 104. That's the problem with this STMA version of this aircraft. The author developed this in X-Plane 10, did a lot of work to deepen the systems in X-Plane 11, but he refused to circle back to bring it up to X-Plane 11 standards in terms of graphics. He his first excuse was, well, I'm working on the NGX or the NG version, and I don't want to divert resources away from that airplane to work on this one. I think in reality, he's just sitting back enjoying the occasional sale of this aircraft that come in from people making videos, from people like me who highlight this aircraft, and he in reality, I don't think he has any intent whatsoever to do anything else to this aircraft. So at this point, I'm hoping that some other developer will go ahead and develop a new PC-12, preferably the NGX for X-Plane. Now, with that said, okay, so we had transitioned to our cruise altitude. So let's go ahead and set our power. We are cruising at 178 indicated, looks like, and our ground speed is 264. So I am pretty happy with that. And I never did set my iPad up. I usually set my iPad up so that let me circle back to that thought about STMA and the aircraft, but let me get my iPad set up, and I guess I can show you that. So let me get rid of this old flight plan, which brought us from which brought us to Carroll County. And let's see, where did we leave from? Let's see what our plan West. Ba 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 da ba. Okay. KHZD. And let's get rid of this messages. Okay, so we got some airspace alerts. Okay, so we are coming up on somebody's airspace, but since I don't have ATC running, then I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so iPad. All right, so I lost my train of thought. Okay, I need my plan, and the best place to get that was from Sky Vector, and you can't see Sky Vector. Let me get rid of this guy. Whoa, the weather changed abruptly. And obviously our altimeter changed. We are still flying autopilot, so we're good. And I can back off the power setting just a touch. Okay, now, where were we? We were entering the flight plan, which, K, Hotel Zulu Delta, K, Echo Romeo, Mike India, Victor 5-4, exit at MSL. Then we do Victor 7, exit at VUZ. I forgot what that was. I know MSL was Muscle Shoals. Remind me of a song by Alabama. And Victor 209, exit at Trust, and our destination is Kilo Papa Lima Romeo. I don't know why I can't say Papa Lima Romeo. I say Papa Lima. Anyway, it don't come out. All right. So that's our flight plan. And you can see where we are. So I will forget to remove the iPad if I don't do it now, so it's going to go away. All right. And I am going to be quiet and let the airplane fly. By being quiet and removing the webcam, I can actually speed things up. So I guess it's time for me to start getting down. Let's drop down to 6,000. East is odd, so let's make it 5,000. And we will descend at 1,000 feet a minute. Pull it back on the prop, because the law of physics says that when we are descending, we are going to lose speed. In fact, we're so close to the airport at this point that we are going to increase our descent rate to 17. Let's make it 18. And we just have some heroes popping. All right, 47 nautical miles from our destination. Getting that information from ForeFlight. Actually, let's see if I can get it from here also. Back, flight plan, and yeah, it would be nice to see what the total miles from the destination is. That would have helped me plan a little bit better my descent, because I have a tendency of sneaking up on these airports. Anyway, so that's why we're doing such a deep dive. But we'll be all right. So let's set pressure down. Did turbulence here. Nothing to be concerned about. All right, and let's do our descent checklist. Altimeter, and probably ought to get that. That's showing 3006 at the moment, and that's what we got set, 3006. So we're good there. And we are making our turn towards the airport. So I'm gonna pull it back on this power a whole lot. And of course, we're in the class Charlie, and we're dipped below 10,000. So we really would have to talk to ATC at this point. Keep that speed below 200 knots now. And see, ADAS, AWAS is 119.62. Not getting AWAS, and only 28 nautical miles from the airport. So let's see, I'm gonna have to get my winds from here. Winds 300 at 6 at Birmingham, so I'm assuming they'll be somewhere close. And our runways are 3 and 2, 1, so we're gonna do 3. And we'll shoot the R now for 3. Back. Go ahead and activate the initial approach fix. And set this guy for 4,000. And we can arrest our descent a little bit. Okay, altimeter, recognition lights can come on. Okay, landing lights can come on, even though they won't technically light up until I drop my landing gear. Inertia separator, we'll go ahead and turn that on. Passenger advisory, fasten the seat belts, and pressure, we just checked that, so we should be good to go there. And so approach, we did check the barometer. Landing gear will need to be below 177 indicated, flaps below 163 indicated, and taxi as required. And we are monitoring for weather, but we're not getting AWAS at this location. Okay, so procedure. All right, so what I want to do is set procedure up on the iPad so I can see what's going on. And we are shooting the R now for 3. Too slow. Okay, 119.62 is what I have in there, right? Let me just double check. 119.62 on COM2. Yep. So it's definitely not getting ADAS. All right. So, and this is our approach at route. And doesn't look like we're flying that. Hanar. All right, so let's go back. Oh, we got handle. Replace handle with shucks. Don't know what I just did. All right, so let's get rid of that. Let's procedure, approach, runway 3, hand. So we got Hanar. Okay. Add to route. Okay, so we're flying to Hanar, which is going to be our approach fix. We probably should have chosen Handar, but being unfamiliar, we chose what we chose. All right, so 4,000. And I think that alarm was our altitude capture alarm. All right, approach. So we'll just check our landing gear. See, flaps at 163, landing gear at 177. I think I like 100 over the threshold in this aircraft, and touchdown any about 80 or so. So let's do our map. So you can see what the plan is here. And we'll do a teardrop and circle back in. Which is really inconsistent with what I'm seeing on the iPad, but hey, it's the Garmin that's our final authority in this aircraft. Since I don't have the chart, then what I'm having to rely on is, say we want to be at 2400 at Sila. Okay. Now what? So let's change this guy to about 500. Let's leave it at 600. And that'll come down to 2400. At CLR, so we got a little time. So once we get those lakes, that river, get parallel with that river, then which we should be getting we should be turning to parallel it now. It's I never quite figured out how to fly the. I never quite figured out how to fly the VNav with this sim. All right, so top of descent is going to be here. Okay, so it's telling me when to start my descent down to 24. And way too fast here. And I've got a message here in my I don't remember seeing this white message that says vertical speed. Maybe it's been there all along. It's amazing that when you're doing stuff, it makes you see things differently. Okay, so when I'm landing, I like to see just above my column. All right, so at this point, I'm going to control the autopilot from my Bravo yoke because I can't readily reach up here.
Vertical track.
Okay, vertical track. So I want to start that.
Vertical track.
That and I want 24. Come on. All right. And I'm doing 500. That should be a good. Okay. That's vertical speed. That's still there, so it's probably been there all the time. All right. Now, my next, when I get the wheel core, I want to go ahead and drop my gear. I'm going to go ahead and drop my flaps now. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and put in our flaps. Turn our landing lights on. Airport is not in sight yet. iPad, so you can see where we are. Get an idea of what we're doing. iPad off so you can see our flying. Speed is 120. That's good. Reaching our altitude. Guess if we'd have did 500, we'd have hit it right on the mark, but I just want to be a little bit conservative. All right. Add a little torque. Don't want to get too slow. Our next, let's see, I need my flight plan. My next is 1440. Trying to get the 40 in there. I can't get the click spot in the right place. I don't think I got the 10s on here, so. All right, so I got, I can hit my approach button. And I'm not sure where I'm at. Let's see. All right. Get rid of this because it's in my way. I can't see what I'm doing. Give me some gear. Gear down. And autopilot off, and it's my airplane. Trimmed for this one. All right. 3 in the green. 100. Let's just see over that column. There we go.
500. 2 mile final runway 03.
2 miles. Get trimmed.
400.
Stay lined up here. Getting a little slow.
200.
Lined up. Final notch of flaps. Power it back a little bit.
20, 10.
Beta. Wasn't the best landing, but I've had worse. Had a lot better too. Given that I was controlling my approach, I thought I would do a lot better. on that touchdown, but had a little bounce there. All right. And we are clear the runway. I didn't make a single radio call, but that's okay. We're on the ground. And I'm not even gonna make them now. And get cleaned up here. All right, so stand by. Okay, FLTT, which is flaps, lights, strobes off, landing lights off, taxi light on, nav light can go off. It's daylight. And trim. Let's do our trim. Let's get this guy trimmed and accidentally threw in some flaps. All right, so we'll go down here and let our passengers depart, get paid. I guess we'll park at this red hangar here. All right, condition. Let's turn that guy down. And yeah, there we go. There we go. That's better, isn't it? And we'll go here and make a right in front of this hangar. Try to avoid a wing strike. And let's see how we doing on that wing strike. She's tight, but we are able to do it. Door is there. So we'll let our passengers off right here. All right, so found a runway clear, found approach, landing gear, 3 green flaps, vertical damper. Shucks, I didn't turn that yaw damper off. Let's do that now. Let's and set our brakes. Brakes are set. Oxygen. Let's see. I wonder if am I finished with the checklist? It's after landing. Okay, I think I'm right here. All right. Condition levels idle. And it's hard to get this thing idle without going to beta. Condition level. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, that's the one they want to be idle. Okay, that's idle. And trims, reset to green, done. Flaps up. Windshield heat can come off. And I'd already done that. Go ahead and turn our inertial separator and probes off. Strobes can go off, which they're already off. And environmental systems can go there. This can go there. And turn our lights off. Taxi can go off. Beacon can stay on. Just leave it tied to power. And see how much fuel we use. We use 400 pounds. Write that down. And outside air temperature is 16. So that's 32 plus 32 is 64 degrees. Nice weather. And yeah, let's see. Okay, can turn this guy off. And flaps are up. And I think we can safely shut down. All right. Turn the start the engine of petrol generator 2, avionics 1 and 2, generator 1, and battery. Open the door. And the cargo doors. And let these folks off so that they can go wherever they are going. And let's get paid. So we say finish flight, click that, and that should put our money in the bank. Passengers are off. And let's just go back and look at this landing. Come on. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I got all my Shift X should give me my instant replay, but it's not. Let's see. Is there anything here that does it? Control R doesn't work anymore because that was trapped by the NVIDIA system, trapped it and remapped it to something else. All right, so here's a good place to start our landing. All right, replay. And get rid of this. Gears down. Runway is in sight. And let's come on in. At this point, I think I'm hand flying it. I'm on the glide path. See the Versi, the Versailles, the Visa, however it's pronounced. So I think one of the things that happened, I found myself a little bit high than I like to be. I mean, even though I'm on the glide slope, I feel like I'm really high. And so to hit my landing port, I kind of decided to push it nose over a little bit, which made me pick up a little speed. I should have been slowing down. And there's my bounce. Hear me go into beta. And I don't want beta over 30 knots, but I think I slowed down below 30 knots with beta in. Because of the throttle, it's hard to control beta. So I'm trying to find idle. Plus, I'm monitoring a lot of other different things. So, yeah. Yep, so that does it for the playback. And we'll get back here and turn our they have departed. Turn our recognition lights off and turn our master off. Battery 2. Okay, there we go. All right. And we are on the ground, safe and sound. And X, the letter X, by default is tied to smoke. And sometimes when I get that smoke, I used to wonder, why is it smoking? All right. And that does it for this flight, guys. I know it was long, but I honestly had a ball. I really enjoyed um, emulating the flight as close to reality as I am capable of, minus the ATC. And I am going to have to do some West Coast flying so I can fly Pilot Edge and actually do ATC. Okay, so until next time.
Y'all come back now. Cheers.